All of the agents completed, and it also yields you the list of details like what ran, what gave, and the engineering plan generator and schedule estimator are just based on pure heuristics, so they're quick enough. You also see like there are tokens listed, like saying like what does this run cost me. Now if you look at, as we go down, we see different inputs. The solution architecture, like how do we want to proceed with the solution. Look at this grounded in. The system must evaluate every transaction against a fraud risk score. This is coming from the BRD requirement. This is what has led to what of this solution looks like. It also says if a transaction risk score exceeds a configurable threshold, the system must alert. So this is also considered. Must handle 5,000 transactions per second at peak. So this is also being considered. These are some of the codes that are generated from the actual BRD to say that based on what have it generated the solution architecture. This is the proof of concept. Now if you see the tech stack recommender, you can see that the Kafka, stateless stream, all these are coming from the recommendations that have been already fed as a ground level to understand what technologies are permissible in this company or in the firm. Now at the end you also see that there is a scope for feedback, but before that, must handle 5,000 transactions. This is coming from BRD2, this is coming from another BRD, this is a tech radar. Now looking at the feedback, we will see what happens if I give feedback and how it changes. I've given this feedback saying like use Google Cloud Platform. Google Cloud Platform solutions are products for this POC in place of above suggestions, and I asked it to regenerate the tech stack recommendation with the feedback. Let's see what happens by the time it generates. The output has been generated. You can see the name GCP native streaming first POC data flow Kafka solution. The tech stack now includes Google Data Cloud Flow, Cloud Run, Cloud Pub Sub, and things like that. So it generates and it gives you all of the output, and once you're satisfied, you can either change the output by really typing in, you can edit, you can change, you're free to type, or you can provide feedback to regenerate. And at the fag end you also see a button that also says this covers the schedule estimate. I'll show you all the sections one more time. The solution architecture, the proof of concept, tech stack recommendation, engineering plan, and schedule estimate. I approve and export. Now when I click export, it gives me a download PDF button. It generates, and you see this is the overall tech stack recommendation, components to be used, system boundaries, what are the things that it's grounded on, proof of concept, success criteria, what is the grounded. And for the tech stack recommendation for just for the POC alone, it has changed to data flow and cloud run and everything that is GCP native, nothing for the production thing. And at the final end you also see that what agents have run, how much of attempts has it been consumed, and how did we get to where we are. Now let's look at uploading a sample BRD, which is just a minor thing. You see this sample BRD minor, I'm giving this as an input, and you click the run agent, it would run, but not all the agents that we have seen in the last time would run. Watch carefully by the end of the run. You can see clearly that the supervisor has decided to skip the POC planner and the tech stack recommender. Let's go into the next agent, which is nothing but the estimate and the plan generation. So the supervisor has sent it to the solution architect because it understood that POC planner and tech stack recommender are not necessary for this minor BRD. The solution architect has completed, and you would see that the next agent also will kick in right after the solution architect has completed. You see the solution architect, engineering plan generator, and everything has run. You can even notice that the token count for what has to happen for this minor BRD is way lesser than, or almost a third of what has been seen when we have a full BRD generation. So the rest of the experience remains the same, like you have all of this, and you can again approve and generate the minor BRD. You can download, you can see. At the end of the log, you will see that the POC planner and tech stack recommender have been skipped. They are deliberately done because this is a minor BRD. Now let's look at some of the code. If you look at the folder structure, we have agents, one for each, which is the BRD parser, plan generator, POC planner, schedule estimator, solution architect, supervisor, and tech stack recommender. These are checkpoints for things so that if anything breaks in between, where it can pick it up from. We also have evals, we'll come to the last. This is the export module, this is the front end app, this is a graph which implements what agent should run after what. This is a knowledge base, the architecture standards that we are trying to comply, the compliance standards, the past design experience, the tech stack that we want to use. This is the output where all things are generated that we have seen so far. The eval report, if we run as an explicit eval, which is sitting from in this folder, this is a consistency and judge. You can run that and you will see that the eval output would look like this. It would say what is the groundedness, what's the completeness, what's the actionability. You will see at every agent level, and you can run time to time to see whether it's really sticking to these kind of standards that you're expecting, and ensure that there is no drifting that we are seeing involuntarily. These are the prompts. This is a rag where BRD, how it is getting chunking, all of the things that we are using for the first time chunking of the inputs, the sample inputs that we have seen through to use what of the BRDs. This is a test validator and everything. That's a different for validation of my thing. This is a PDF extract which is initially reading. The tool output, which is a schedule heuristic, which means based on the past experience how to calculate the estimates. The scripts are for test things. Run evals is a run eval thing that we saw that we have to run so that it runs. This ingest knowledge base is as a one-time thing. If you have more knowledge coming in, this is to feed the existing knowledge into the in-memory vector store. So now let's look at something called agents, the common. This is where from the situation verified against retrieve text inline. The agents also have supervisor, the topological sort that overrides LLM ordering if its dependencies are wrong. It takes care of building what has to be. Then there is something called graph. So build graph is one where what it decides which sequence to run after which sequence. So it decides between export and redispatching an agent. Should it load, go directly to the export, or does it come to another agent which is supposed to be thing? And in the agents there is also something called engineering plan generator. The phase level field is now both prompted with sidebars that you saw, the team input, and also there is a rerun so that if something is changing in flight, you also know. These are all heavy prompt driven. If it finds any mismatch, it ensures that you are given an opportunity to recorrect for the estimation and plan generation. Now let's go into details of the output. The output, which is the eval report. It builds an eval harness in 3 angles. First is schema validation, success rate, and hard-coded correctness check on the supervisor skip decision, if anything. For the minor BRD, the LLM as a judge, it would also show like what components are being used, everything. It literally shows you a run through of the whole system. Because it's a minor POC, it is not so overwhelming, but otherwise this has to be more structured in terms of what we are evaluating at every point of time. This is the full system, the BRD in, grounded and validated engineering planning out, with a human always in the loop before anything ships. Thank you.